all these elaborate Tirth Yatras that people do, even elaborate worships. They stand in their line to get one chit of paper, and then they give it to the Pandit to do it, and then he doesn't do it properly. So you wait in that line just to, get your one coconut to the Lord. Or sometimes elaborate worships, yagya, yagas, pujas. And they are dharma only because they are prescribed by the scripture. They are right way of fulfilling our desires. But at the end of it, from that infinite compassionate Lord, what do we ask? I mean, if you go to a multi-billionaire and tell him that, for my local charity, I want just 100 rupees. From a rich person to ask just something like this is an insult of that rich person. And for a rich person to even give that 10 or 100 rupees is an insult. You should see whom you are giving and who is giving also. No? So when we think about it, we are asking the Lord for something so mundane that we, with our efforts and the abilities He has given us, we can do. What is impossible to get, that only we should ask the Lord, is it not? Why trouble Him for something like that? But having done such elaborate rituals, what we ask in the end is something very temporary. Even heaven is only temporary, even though Vishal. However, Bhagavan, why are you telling all this? Because Bhagavan says, to get the infinite is so easy. To get the finite is so difficult, and it doesn't stay with you, and again you want it. Unsatisfied. How to get that total satisfaction and how easily you can get it. Here is the verse which is if you say that the 9th chapter is the center of the Gita, this verse, now you can calculate whether it's geometrically, but this verse is the heart of the Gita. And that Lord who says neither they are in me nor I am in them, that Lord is now showing what is my most intimate relationship with the devotee, with the universe. And here, really speaking, Raj Vidya begins. We thought that was Raj Vidya, no? That was also Raj Vidya. But this is Rajar Vidya. This is called Englishized Sanskrit. Rajar Vidya means larger Vidya. Here Bhagavan reveals one of the greatest secrets. They said Raja Guhyam. When we want to attain something big, we have to put in so much effort, and that big is also only small after we achieve it. Is it not? And yet the infinite, which is endless, timeless, unexhaustible, can be attained so easily. Remember Bhagavan had said, Susukham, now keep connecting. Susukham kartum. Now Bhagavan says, and please memorize this verse. Some of you, I'm sure, who have been studying the Gita, this verse must be memorized.
Ananyas chintayanto mam,
Ananyas chintayanto mam,
ye jana paryupasate,
ye jana paryupasate,
tesham nityabhiyuktanam,
tesham nityabhiyuktanam,
yogakshemam vahamyaham,
yogakshemam vahamyaham. Bhagavan says, ye janaha, whosoever those people might be, ananyas chintayanto mam, who constantly think, let me put it in very simple language, think, chinta, who constantly remember me, and contemplation is just remembrance. Remembrance first of His bountiness, remembrance of His greatness, remembrance of the blessings that we've had in our life, and then constant remembrance of Him. Even Shankaracharya, when he's explaining or demonstrating what is contemplation, which we find, he says, Pratasmarami ridisam spuradatma tattvam. Pratasmarami. So, ananyas chintayantoma. This word ananya seems to be just as though coined by Krishna. Very beautiful word. Ananya. Anya, other. Ananya, where there is no other. In context, when Bhagavan spoke about Gyan Yagya, that I alone am everything. So where there is no otherness, which means when the mind not consider, or the ego not considering self to be separate from the Lord, is constantly contemplating on the Lord as the self. One meaning is that. Again, at different stages of our sadhana, it has a different level of meaning. Ananya means where there is no other thought. And there will be no other thought because there is no other goal. And there will be no other goal because mat paraha, that is the supreme most. So thinking of no other, giving importance to no other, considering no other as greater than the Lord. And not considering yourself to be separate from the Lord. Or in the seat of meditation, when you are thinking about the Lord. How ridiculous it is. You go to a temple, the Lord is in front of you, and you're thinking of something else. It's like the Lord is in front of you and you're talking to everybody else. Ananya means where there is no other. No other thought other than the thought of the Lord. And how is it possible? How is it possible? In Narad Bhakti Sutra, Naradji has given the definition of Ananyata. He says, Anya Ashraya Tyago Nama Ananyata. Where there is no other Ashraya. See, why is it our mind is not on the Lord? Because we think wealth will give us happiness. We think family will give us happiness. We think that name, fame, position will give us happiness. We think heaven will give us happiness. Objects of pleasures will give us happiness. And therefore your mind will drift wherever it thinks or whatever it thinks will give you happiness. When there is no other ashraya, that happiness is only from the Lord. In Chandogya Upanishad, very beautifully it is said, Yo vai bhuma tat sukham, na alpe sukham asti. That which is infinite alone can give you total satisfaction, which is called as happiness. In the finite, there can never be that happiness. Pleasures are there, but not that satisfaction called as happiness. The same thing is pointed out when we even see Bhagwan in the form. That even the word Ram means that which is the ocean of bliss. That's what Vashishti describes the word, the meaning of Ram. Jo Sukha Dasi. Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib says so beautifully, Jo Sukha Ko Chahe Sada Sharan Ram Ki De. That who wants happiness always, then just surrender, depend on the Lord. We depend on our karma. That I do the action and I will produce something. After some time, even that collapses, is it not? Body also betrays us. Family though, relatives are called only relative because they are related to how much you can give them. No? Think about it. We depend upon the world, we depend on so many things. Whoever you depend upon, your mind will be there. Therefore, when people say, no, Swamiji, it's very difficult to meditate. I ask first, why are you meditating? Why are you meditating? And somebody told Gurudev, Swamiji, I cannot meditate because every time I sit to meditate, my mind is always going to the shopping mall. He said, always going to the shopping mall. This is called Ananya shopping. So who says you're not a meditator? Constantly meditating. Yes? And what you constantly think, you love. Or whoever you love, your mind will be there. How can you without love meditate? When there is no love for that truth, when there is no love for that Lord, and you're sitting going to a spa, where you're having a good massage, and then you're going to meditate. Of course you'll be meditating, but not on the truth or the Lord. Wherever your love is, there the Lord. Therefore, ananyas chintayanto mam. Ye jana paryupasate. Paryupasate, at all times, whenever you are working, wherever you are working, how difficult it is to remember the Lord. And don't say it is not very difficult. Swamiji, where is the time to remember the Lord? Where is the time to think about the Lord? You have to earn even your livelihood, it is difficult. Achha? When is it that you don't think about money? You please tell me. Continues, no? Wherever you go, money, money, money. You go to relatives' house also, money. All of you mothers, whether you go shopping, whether you go sightseeing, whether you go somewhere else, is not your mind on your child? So don't tell it. This is called paryupasate. Wherever you go, even if you go for a wedding, and there you find those not over fried nayapams or kodkatte, whatever, you know. How many of you mothers have not taken a tissue or a napkin and put it in your bag? And then somebody sees you, feel embarrassed, but everybody is doing it. Even there, while you are enjoying something, you are thinking, my child likes it, I want to take it. Is it not this called as paryupasate? Only thing is, you don't love the Lord like that. Tesham nityabhiyuktanam. And how will you not get distracted when your senses are only for the Lord and therefore withdrawn from the world? Means not affected by the world. Achha, if all the time I think about God, who's going to look after me? Bhagavan says, Yoga Kshemam Vahamyaham. Yoga and Kshema, when they come together, the word yoga does not mean union with God, but yoga means that what is to be acquired, I bring yoga, union with that goal. So therefore, what is to be acquired, I bring for them. And whatever has to be preserved. And all our actions is to acquire and to preserve. Yeah? Growth and consolidation. Corporate language. No? So, this is constantly there. And our whole mind's occupation is to acquire and to hoard, to preserve, to save, to protect. Bhagavan says, Yoga Kshemam Vahamyaham. And the word Bhagavan says is Vahamyaham. I bring it for them. There was a commentator on the on the Mahabharata, and for years he was writing commentary on the Mahabharata. And silently his wife used to serve him. He did not, like any of the corporate people, had no time for his wife. Didn't give attention. But wives of those days were neither giving attention, divorce. So not like that. She served him for so many years. One day, while coming, he came to the Bhagavad Gita, in Bhishma Parva, Bhagavad Gita comes, and there, when he came to this verse, somehow or the other he felt that this might have got mistranslated over or miswritten over a period of time. Are Bhagwan, why Vahamyaham? Bhagwan is some servant or a slave that I will carry and I will bring it. So he was writing with his red ink. He scratched this off and editing. He called it as Dadamyaham. That's what Vedyasa must have written. Dadamyaham, not Vahamyaham. Dadamyaham. Bhagwan is a giver. After all, everything he gives. But Vahamyaham, Bhagwan will carry and bring. It's considered to be a real story. Next day he has his bath and he comes back. His wife, who he has not even noticed for the last 2-3 years. She's been so quiet. Now that's a rare thing in any home. Yes? Because she's the life of the house. I'm not saying negatively, If she's not there, nobody will talk to each other. So she's the life of the house. And here she has silently allowed him to work on his masterpiece. And she is furious. And he comes in and when she's furious, it's quite noticeable. And never make the mistake of asking what happened. And he did it. Because he's no practice for the last 3 years. He said, what happened? What happened? I did not realize that I married a brute like you. Does a husband brute? Such a cruel person like you. Such a nasty person like you. He said, what did I do? He has not even said a word to his wife. What did he do? I didn't know that you were such a cruel person. He said, what did I do? What did I first tell me? What did I do? Stop giving all these vocabulary to me. The Sahasranama that you are giving me, but she said, that little boy, and he had no son, no child, he was busy working. That little boy, for 3 years you have been working. Who thinks, from where does the food come? From where does the milk come? From where does all this thing come? Did you even think about it? Did you even care about it? He also thought, where did it all come from? She must be Annapurna Devi or something like that, but where did it come from? So she was a little, he was a little worried. What did she say? You are so cruel that one boy all these years has been bringing us milk and food or grains for us. You beat him so badly that he was bleeding? He says, what? His whole chest was cut. And I asked him, who did it? He said, I did it. He said, yes, that child told me you did it. He said, but he's lying. He said, why will he lie? That boy who did for us. He said, I have not hit anyone. I have not made any child bleed. I am not this type of person. What are you talking? She said, then when he comes here, I'll tell him to tell on your face. So that day, all these days, so he has never seen who comes. Next day, as usual, next day, that boy comes with all milk, etc. A milk boy carrying milk and drinking. So he looked at this boy and he said, "Boy, who did this to you?" And he finds that his chest has been cut and he's still bleeding. He said, "Who did it to you?" He said, "You did it." He said, "But when did I do it?" He said, "Did you not scratch me at night?" Then he understood who this Gopala was. Vahamyam. Goswami Tulsidas Ji, when he started becoming famous, naturally people bring offering gifts. Two thieves were planning to raid his house, but every night when they used to come, they used to see some very strong guards standing there. For days, weeks, they continued. Finally, looking at these guards standing so bravely, these two young men, one dark, one fair, with their bows and arrows, they're standing there. So in the daytime, they went to Tulsidas Ji, they said, "We came here to steal from you. But every night we came, there are these two handsome boys standing there guarding your door. Now we don't want to steal, but tell us, who are they? We are afraid at night to go in front of them to find out because they'll shoot us. But who are they?" So he said, "Nobody, I don't have any, I don't have sons, I don't have guards, I don't have anything. I'm a sadhu. What will I do with all this?" So he said, "But there are two guards." And when they described the two guards, he realized that it was Ram and Lakhan. He gave away all his wealth. He said, "My Ramchandraji and Lakhan are guarding Shema." And I can give you countless examples in my life. We also work day in and out, but not for money. We carry no money in our pockets, and I travel around the world carrying no money in my pocket. It's not that sometimes I don't have some currency in my vehicle, but most of the time I carried with nothing in my pocket. Internationally, I travel in transit everywhere. Never have I had to go and buy something also. I can tell you millions of stories. But one of the most striking stories is when I used to go to certain cities. One of them was Singapore. I used to always have this cold, and I used to get this hay fever, dust and mites and fungus and all that, and dampness, humidity. My whole childhood was like that. Only every examination I've given with tears in my eyes, but not because of fear of failing, but even my discourses I'm giving discourses on Atma Bodh, with tears in my eyes. It's Atma Bodh, it's not Bhakti Shastra, but I've got tears in my eyes. And I was, at this cold. One day, at those days, morning class, afternoon class, bhikshas, this, that. When I came home one afternoon after bhiksha, I just went into my room because my eyes were swollen. I went to my room. I just got into bed. Somebody was knocking the door. Open the door. I said, now somebody must have phoned or something. I said, I'm not going to go out. So I did not even reply. I slept. Evening I came out, still not feeling well, went for the evening discourse. And some Chinese devotees had arranged bhiksha for me. And they were bringing me back in the car, and suddenly they realized, because they were so particular that the dishes had not to have had cooked meat before that. So particular they were. And they did not know desserts which were made without, say egg or something, so they didn't make that. But on the way they were feeling bad. We didn't give Swamiji any dessert. So I said, no, I don't want it. No, please, can we go and get something from nearby? Would you eat an ice cream? I said, I'll scream with this cold. Now, I had discovered, it may not work for everybody. But when I was in Hong Kong and staying with the family and all that, and there everything is just available, so you don't even think, I had noticed that a particular chocolate, and everybody, if you got cold, try the remedy. If it doesn't work, it's not for you. But it's a nice remedy. Particular chocolate used to work my cold, used to immediately, or hay fever used to get immediately controlled. That's how I got the reputation of being chocolate Swami, but not because I eat, because I give all the chocolates. So now I'm staying in someone's house. It didn't even occur to me because I've never asked. I wouldn't ask for anything. Whatever Bhiksha was given, we ate. I didn't even think that I should be asking for chocolate. And can you imagine a brahmachari saying, I want chocolate? Those days, 30 years ago, you were like, chocolate. And it didn't occur to me. Then the ladies in the car who were there, the Chinese ladies, they said that, Swamiji, can we get you at least a chocolate? I said, no, it's like being told to me. And I said, yeah, that's fine, bring me chocolate. Then she was going, so any particular chocolate? So I told that, very trendy. No, you're all giggling away. I said, no, because that chocolate helps me to, control my cold. This Swamiji, we won't tell anybody, it's okay. God, I said, no, I shouldn't have told. I shouldn't have even said I'm going to eat a chocolate. Otherwise, it's not some wine or something like that. I'm just asking for a chocolate. That also, you are offering it to me and I'm saying that get the chocolate. But they were giggling away and all that. You don't have to. We won't tell anybody. And you don't have to tell us. It's okay to eat a chocolate. I'm sure a Swami can also eat a chocolate. There's no harm in that. I said, but there's no harm in it. Even if I want to eat a chocolate, there's no harm in it. But the fact is that it controls my cold. So they were laughing away. And they brought that chocolate to me. And I was like, that day really I prayed. I said, Bhagwan, it always works, but today make sure it works. Because this is Izzat ka sawal, no? This is matter of my reputation now. And amongst them, one of them was a healer kind of a thing and all that, and did all these testing and all that, psychic testing and all that. So she used to attend my Atma, she used to be fascinated. She used to conduct courses for meditation and all that. So she was also in the car and she said that, okay, let us see now where this cold go. Honestly, I was praying, call it placebo effect, whatever happened. But my eyes whole day was swollen. Suddenly my eyes cleared up. My sneezing stopped. And by the time I got down from the car, they were themselves surprised. It worked. Now they gave me the box of chocolate. Now it worked. Now I would eat chocolate so late at night. So I had that chocolate, which is in a particular shape. And I thought the children are there in the house. I'll take it for the children. Now the best part comes now. I knock the door. The lady of the house opens the house. She considers me a younger brother. So she, I just very nicely gave her the chocolate box. Where did you get it from? I said, what's wrong with these people? It's just a chocolate box. I said, I didn't even buy it because where did I get the money from also? Maybe she's asking that. No, I said, I think they gave it to me and I brought it for you. And the children. She said, no. This is the box in the afternoon I had brought for you. How did you get it? You're getting the point? I didn't even ask for it. I didn't even think I needed it. In the afternoon, she has brought me the box of that particular chocolate. She said, I went to the market and I saw this box and I just felt like buying it for you. And I was knocking at your door to give it to you. I did not open the door. This is called Vaham Yaham. I can tell you countless stories, but then all the remaining 1 month, I will only have to speak on this verse. Yogakshemam Vahamyaham. So please, this verse memorize. If you are the devotee of the Lord, anyway Bhagwan is providing. But to a devotee, he does not have to worry. What you need in life will come to you. This is a guarantee of Bhagwan.